Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are. On the face of this very planet, once again, this very glorious evening of the 21st day, Sunday the 21st day of June, in the year of our Most High Elohim, Chukokika Biama Primi Henine 2020, with the time now standing at exactly 6 minutes past 7 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. I welcome each and every one of you, and as I do so, I will, or should I say, should encourage you to welcome all those who are around you. Because this very live presentation is going out to you in every time zone on the surface of this very planet. If you are dedicated, if you are serious, if you want to extricate yourself from the pain and the suffering, if you want to escape the damnability of the zoological republic, you must be listening to us at this precise moment. If you are not, you are doing yourself a great disservice. Here we have come to preach the truth, unadulterated gospel of redemption. Some may not like it. As I said during my last broadcast of precisely 7 days ago on Sunday, I did say that it was Armageddon. After that very broadcast, that things will no longer be the same. And once again, we have been proven right, and things are not the same. All the workers of iniquity, all those who are blinded by what I call religious buffoonery, they have all been confounded. They are running from pillar to post. They are confused, as I knew they would be confused, because they cannot see in the spirit. They are blind. Things of the spirit are lost on them. But this very day we shall continue. As I said during my earlier post, if you know that those of you who are, or should I say, weak constitution are listening, then I will seriously encourage you to engage, because the program tonight, it may not be as hot as it was 7 days ago, but I can assure you it won't make for palatable listening for a great majority of you. But we must proceed all the same. I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, because the whole world is listening. The whole world is listening. Before I came here on air, I did get a confirmation from Facebook that they are seriously suppressing and interrupting, should I say, people visiting to my page. They are doing all they can to make our work impossible. But they will always fail, as they have failed previously. We are live on satellite. Those of you with strong decoder should be able to listen to us, which is what most of you are using anyway. If you are in Biafra land, you will listen to us. If you are fortunate enough, via FM, one of our CHKs that is broadcasting in the land of Biafra. If you have a smart device, which most of you do have, you can listen to me by going to my page on Facebook, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I have nearly about, say, 300,000 likes, so you shouldn't be able to miss it. There are a few other ones set up by DSS to try to lure people away, to try to confuse people, but have failed. The same way that every enemy we encounter crumbles, that is how they ought to have crumbled. We are also on Radio Biafra app, and very soon we are also going to be on IPOB app as well. Right now we are on Radio Biafra app. You can get us via tuning. You can also get us via Sweet Radio. You can get us via all these names I mentioned. Just Google them. Log in. Just search for Radio Biafra. You'll be listening to my voice immediately. Some of us have decided to stream us live also on YouTube, which I understand is the means through which most of you are listening. And I will encourage you to also go to Ghana Radio as well. In all these places, you will be able to hear us this evening live and direct. I say evening because of where I'm domiciled this evening, the same time as you have in the land of Biafra. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of IPOB, Indigenous people of Biafra all over this planet. We are in over 100 countries and counting. We are the largest mass movement on the surface of this very earth. But no, we are a juggernaut, unstoppable. There is nothing anybody can do, not now, not ever. We are unstoppable. Our march is towards Biafra. To restore Biafra, nothing more, nothing less. And this very generation of IPOB will accomplish it. Do you want to know why we will accomplish it? Because we always put Chukwuka first. God Almighty in heaven is number one. That is why we worship Him and Him alone. That is why we bow not down before any idol. And I'm here for a person. I don't worship idol. And because of that, Elohim said, as long as you proclaim my name in every truth and every honesty, Biafra will come in your time. And because his words are yea and amen, anything he says must come to pass. That is why we have stuck on, stop only onto this part of the nation, in truth and in every honesty. That heaven and earth may bear us witness that they came and they proclaimed the salvation of God Almighty in heaven. Their cries and their prayers were listened to, and they were set free. When I say that this is the last miracle on the face of this very earth, I meant it. And with everything that's happening around us, you now understand the enormity of the task that awaits us. What we must do to be free. Why we are gathered this evening, morning, afternoon, night, depending on where you are. Because for those in Japan, I think it's about 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. For those in Malaysia, Indonesia, I think maybe it's about 2 a.m. in the morning or thereabout. For those of you in Los Angeles, it is 10 a.m. in the morning of Sunday. That's how it is, because the world keeps rotating all the time. When it is your morning in your time zone, it could be somebody's tea time, it could be somebody's breakfast, it could be somebody else's dinner, somewhere. That's how the world rolls. It waits for no one. When they say time waits for no one, it's because regardless of what happens, the earth will keep rotating around the sun. It will never stop. Every blessed day, and over 1,000 miles per hour. But you don't feel it. Because the grace and the miracle of creation is with us. Elohim is with us, and we must worship Him. This very evening, as we've always done. But I'm going to pray a slightly different prayer in the language of heaven. Igbo language is the language of heaven, the oldest language on the face of the earth by none. Everything I say, I have proof. I don't say something that I don't know. Everything that I say, there is proof. And I'm also going to give it to some of you tonight, should you dare or challenge me. And I'm going to pray. I won't call it a prayer. It is a prayer, of course, because we're requesting something from heaven. We are going to pray a prayer of the 10 Commandments. And do you know why we pray this prayer? Because even those that founded the USA, United States of America, if you go to some areas in the USA, you see the tablets proclaiming the 10 Commandments. And why is it very important that we pray, alluding to the 10 Commandments? Because that will be the very basic foundation upon which Biafra will rest. I repeat, the 10 Commandments of God that nobody disputes, even Islam, everybody believes in it. That is the pillar upon which we are going to rest this Biafra. That is my promise to God in heaven. And this evening I will affirm it. Biafra will be a godly nation. Secular, yes. Because you can practice what you want to practice, but it must be anchored on God. We don't answer one for nothing. We don't call ourselves for nothing. It is for a purpose, a divine purpose. That purpose is that Biafra will come in our time. And the pillar that will hold Biafra is the mercy of God Almighty in heaven. Unashamedly, I proclaim, because I know the whole world is listening. They want to know that what Biafra are going to build. And I'm telling them this very day that Biafra will be a godly nation, anchored on the core values and principles surrounding the Ten Commandments. I was given to Moshe on Mount Sinai. Unashamedly so, I say. And if you bow down your heads wherever you are, we are going to pray. Our enemies are not resting. We don't expect them to rest, but we must continue to preach this very gospel, the gospel of redemption and honesty. This is very gospel of freedom. Ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ ime ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa nwa anyị na-efe na isi anyị. Onye ike niile na ọbara aka n'ọbara anyị a na-achị. Onye na-epụrụ ndị izu epụrụ ha azụ. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ ihe nke na-acha n'ime ndị anụ pụrụ ike taa. Ụmụ ya maka ụwa niile na-ege ntị onye nwe anyị. Anyị wezie ha ozi nke iziri anyị na mmụọ anyị wee gbasaa. Ịsa anya tupu anyị asụla ngọngọ, anyị alaghị azụ, anyị atụghị egwu mmadụ ọbụla. N'ihi na eziokwu gị ga-adịrịrị ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Na ọ kakwa mma na eluigwe n'ụwa wee bịa n'isi njedebe, mana ọ bụla okwu wee bịa na mmezu na nke bere dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-akpụ isi ala wee na-aja ya ma wee na-ebuli ya elu na-asị nwe Chineke na dị ngọzi. Ụmụ iwe na-akpọgbu n'ụwa niile na-asị na ede nsọ Chineke nna. Anyị wee na-ekpere gị ekpere n'uhuru ya. Ụfọdụ ndị mmadụ ọtụtụ oge ihe ọba n'ime anya si anyị wee na-arịọ ya ma gị na-ebere gị na mma gị ọmịiko gị ebe ụmụ gị nọ n'ụwa niile bụ ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra. Ihe gbatara anya ọsọ enyemaka ụzọpụta n'aka ajọ ihe. Ka ị were aka nri nke ezi omume wee kwagide ụmụ IPOB ebe ọbụla ha nọ n'elu ụwa nna nke bere dị ngọzi. Wee gọzie ọlụ aka ha wee je ha onwe ha na ezinụlọ ha. Tụmadụ ndị nna niile. Ebe ụbọchị nketa ụbọchị ncheta ndị nna onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe biko gbaa ha ume, nye ha nkasi obi, nyekwa ha ikikere, nye ha mmụọ nke eziokwu, nye ha ezi mmụọ nke nghọta, ka ọ ga-abụ ha n'eziokwu na nke ebere ka ha wee nabata ya. Na wee na-akpọkọ wee na-arịọ gị nna nke igwe na-asị na anyị ekwupụta ụwa niile wee ya nụrụ na Biafra na-abịa dịka isi lekwa anyị na nkwa. Anyị na-akpọkọ gị na ị ga-enye anyị n'ime afọ anyị na n'ime. Ị ga-enye anyị Biafra n'ime afọ a ndị igwe na n'ime nye na Chineke. N'ihi iji obodo kwesịrị isi na anyị n'iyi. Biafra bụ onyinye nke gị nke ị na-enwe mmadụ dị ndụ. Anyị ga-ewere ya nna nke igwe, were ya fee ego ofufe n'ụzọ pụrụ iche. Ihe anaghị eme anyị kwupụta nke eziokwu eze mgbe dị ngọzi wee na-ebu ya na-ekwusi ike. Ndị na-anya onwe anyị bụ ụmụ Biafra bụ ụmụ Chineke ka anyị anaghị efe arụsị. N'ihi na ọ bụ ndị ọbụla nsọ Biafra na-aza aha arụsị ọ bụ narị ka anyị efe. Anyị na-aza Chinedu, anyị na-aza Amara Chukwu, ụmụ gị na-aza Ikechukwu, ụmụ gị na-aza Chukwu na-enye. Ụzọ niile dị iche iche ka anyị si wee na-ebuli aha nsọ ya elu site na aha nke anyị na-aza. Anyị wee na-ekweghị nkwa na nke bere dị ngọzi n'ihu ụwa niile bụ ndị na-ege anyị ntị na anyị ga-ewere Biafra nna nke igwe wee guzo ya n'elu iwu iri nke nyere nna nke bere dị ngọzi. N'ihi na onwe mgbe ụmụ ebo ndị Izrel nọ na mkpagbu n'obodo Ijipt, iwe ezie ozi wee sị na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke na-akụzi Chineke ndị agha na ha ndị dị achụ abụọ ụmụ gị ha ga-enwe uche ọzọ wee tinyere gị. Ha ga-ekwu isi ala wee nye arụsị ọbụla n'ihi na gị onwe gị bụ Chineke na dị ngọzi. Ị chọghị onye ọbụla ga-enye aka n'aka n'ihu. Ị na-eweta atamahụ n'isi niile ruo ọgbọ ha ka na ọnọdụ bụ ndị kpọrọ gị asị. Mana ịhụ anyị na-adịgide n'isi ndị ire ruo ụgwọ ọkpụkpụ na iri bụ ndị dị etu a bụ ezinụlọ ndị nwere na-edebe iwu gị. Ịsa na-ejikwala ha nsọ ya ha aka n'ihi na gị onwe gị bụ onye nwe anyị na Chineke na-adị ngọzi na ị gaghị agbaghara ka ha bụ ndị ji ahụ ewe n'ala ya n'iyi. Ịsa na-ejikwala n'izu ma doo ya nsọ n'abalị isii ka mmadụ dị ndụ nwa ọ ga-eji wee nwụrụ abalị asaa bụ pụtara n'ihi gị n'ụbọchị dị ka mụ nọrọ n'ime anyị ga ọ bụla anyị onwe anyị na ezinụlọ anyị ma ọ bụ ndị ọbịa bụrịta anyị n'abalị isii ka jụọ onwe gị bụ onye nwaanyị ji wee mere igwe n'ụlọ ụwa n'ime oke osimiri nke anyị ma abalị nke asaa wee zuo ihe ọ bụ ya mere iji wee gozie ụbọchị asaa n'ime izu ụka ma doo ya nsọ isi anyị onye nna anyị nna anyị ugwu anyị were afọ gị kwuru anyị na nkwa isi anyị bụrụ mmadụ anyị akwalite anyị esi anyị bụla nwe gbadị mmadụ ibe anyị ejebe anyị n'ezinụlọ nwoke ọzọ ma ọ bụ nwee mmasị ebe nwunye ya na ebe atụ n'ebe ya maka ebe ka bụrụ ezi Chineke nna nke igwe nke ụmụ nwoke pụtara n'ụwa niile iji wee mee ka ndị dị ndụ wee bere na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke na bụ onye anyị na-efe wee na-edu anyị n'ụzọ ije ka amara gị na ebere gị ewezu oke n'ime ndụ anyị ka anyị onwe anyị bụ ndị dị ndụ wee ebule ha nsọ edo gị mama too oyi site n'ebi gị ise mma mmadụ gị Chineke. We now proceed to unveil the truth this very day, that the world may know, because the zoo is crumbling. It has crumbled already. What happened in Ghana yesterday is just confirmation. Because this very year, the zoo will be decimated beyond human comprehension or recognition. Never again will the zoo exist. It's gone. We have not done anything. We have not commenced our march. We have not confronted the Janjaweed terrorists who are in our forests and in our farms. We have not gone out to meet those who are killing us. Yet the zoo is unraveling before our eyes. As always, I will endeavor to wrap every of our discussion this evening around a very common theme, and that theme is that out of, should I say, a habit of treachery or a lifetime of betrayal, you fail to recognize the importance of the time that we are living in, then may the good Lord have mercy upon you. I need to understand this very clearly. Because as I say always, we are a highly religious, I say godly people, let me put it that way. Some have turned it into modern day religiosity. What I want to make you understand this very evening is this: that every problem afflicting us as a people, as a race, is our own making. Every difficulty that we Biafrans are undergoing right now is our own making. And we trace it back to one common, or should I say, a simple denominator. And that denominator is slavery, kidnapping in modern parlance, and slavery, which the whole world is now running around trying to atone for. Before we came on air, we understand that the Church of England, of all places, Anglican Church, was involved in slavery. I will tell you the truth. And quite frankly, I don't give a damn if you like it. If you don't like it, go and do your research. Also, the Bank of England said they are apologizing for their role in slavery. And I want to tell you why we are in this mess we are in today. Those of you who are very close to your scriptures, those of you that have the Bible or even the Quran with you, I want you to go to the book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 16. Exodus 21, 16. That is the genesis of our problem as a race. This suffering we are suffering today, if you go back to the Holy Book, if you go back to the Bible, it is there. That was the beginning of our problem. Everything afflicting black people in America, every pain, every shame, every dishonor, you can trace it back to this in the book of Exodus 21, 16. And before we proceed any further, you will also understand that every time we say we are in the land of Egypt, that the zoo called Nigeria is the land of Egypt. And I encourage you, if they kick you out of my page We are on YouTube. You can go to Radio Biafra page as well. Because I know they will do the best they can to suppress us. That's what they will do. But the world is listening. After this program, by the end of this program, nearly 2 million people would have listened to it live. 2 million will listen to it live. So that is why we are not bothered. That is why we are not concerned. That is why we will continue to do everything humanly possible to preach this very gospel of redemption. Exodus 21 verse 16. I want to let the whole world understand. I want to let the whole world know where our problems started from, that they may know the truth, and that truth will set them free. Once you commit this crime, once you commit this very crime, you must be punished. Your race will be punished. God will never ever forgive you until you are punished. I want to let the whole world understand that those of us who are the children of light, those of us that supply the bulk of slaves to South America, the Caribbean, and North America, the entire West Africa was more or less emptied. The most prized slaves are those that came from Biafra. Go and check the books. You will see it and you would know. Do you know what the Bible says in Exodus 21:16? Very, very frightening about kidnapping your people and selling them. It says that he who kidnaps a man, whether he sells him as a slave, remember? Those who are bragging that they are slave traders, they are slave dealers. I want to let you understand the reason why Nigeria is in darkness this evening. More than any other place, Nigeria is dark itself. Then inside that darkness, there is a place that some people ignorantly refer to as Nigeria. I want you to know the reason why they are even suffering more than every other person in the zoo called Nigeria. It is in the Bible. As I told you before, Elohim gives us a message to give to the living, and it is my duty and solemn responsibility to pass that on. Listen carefully. He who kidnaps a man, whether he sells him as a slave or you keep that very person, a fellow human being, your brother or your sister, you will surely be put to death. If nobody can kill you, God in heaven will kill you, because those are his words. He that stealeth a man, or selleth him, or is found in his hands, he will surely be put to death. We cannot put ourselves to death because we sold our own people, first to the Arabs and then to Europeans. That is why God is today dealing with us. When they kill somebody, you campaign and you say Black Lives Matter or Black Lives Matters. What you're saying is that I have sinned against God in heaven because we sold our own people as slaves. And why is Nigeria suffering more than any other place? There is no, I posted something last night. There is no tangible, meaningful development. It's because go and check in the coastal Nigeria, that's not the name. The name is the coastal region of Biafra land. Go to the coastal region of Biafra land and see for yourselves. The people suffering most from the coastal region of Biafra land were the hotbeds of slavery. Something that God in heaven is against. Not just there. I want you to also go to the book of Deuteronomy 24/7. To the book of Deuteronomy 24/7. If you go there, you will see what is happening. If you go there, you will understand what is happening. And the reason why we should be kidnapping people, because once you do that, once you kidnap somebody, you are bringing a curse not just upon yourself and your family, you're bringing a curse on the generation as well. That is why it is absolutely critical that in the next coming weeks and months, When we come to confront the enemies who are within, the Janjaweed that have come from all over the Sahel to take over our land, that we understand this. It is a cardinal rule. It is the cardinal principle that can never, ever, ever be breached. Because black people sold their own kind, that is why the world is treating them like the animals that some of them are. That is why the world is treating them like the animals that some of them are. If you go back to the book of Genesis, I am sorry to dwell on this, but it is very, very critical you understand it. If you go back to the book of Genesis, why did Israelites suffer in Egypt? Was because the house of Jacob, they sold their brother Joseph. The same thing that God himself was against was what they did. They sold him to the Ishmaelite merchants. The same thing that we did in the land of Biafra. The same thing that we did selling our own people, our own kind, first to Arabs and then to Europeans. And you expect God to love you. It's impossible. You must pay for it. And that punishment is what we're in right now. That was why Elohim in his infinite mercy and kindness decided to. Isn't it very funny that the same people that we use our people to, they come back, they conquered us. And they gave us their religion. Very, very sad indeed. Do you see how the punishment goes? The same thing that happened to the temple in Israel. When they started to worship idol, God went and brought all those nations that they were worshiping their idols to come and conquer Israel one after the other and sack them. And on the pain of death, threatened never ever to worship God in truth and honesty anymore. Until they spent over 2,000 years in exile. Millions dead before they cried, and God heard their cry and decided to deliver them in 1948. This is why you're looking at it came into existence again in 1948, since the time of Christ, only 1948. Less than 100 years ago. This is what I've been hearing about. Never existed for over 2,000 years. It only came into existence only in 1948, less than 100 years ago. And that is the understanding I want all of you to have as we delve into the main substance of our gospel this very evening. Have you ever asked yourself why is it that people who you are more educated than, more enlightened than, are controlling you? Have you ever asked that question? Why is it that some of you never pause to even think nor ponder the absurdity that people that drive cattle from place to place, they are not very fluid in their own language. They cannot communicate very well in the lingua franca, which is English language. They are in control of their lives. Have you ever wondered why? Do you know why the British gave power over to the Janjaweed Caliphate? All are in the design of God in heaven to punish you for the things that you have done. But now that we have atoned consistently for nearly 7 years, you are about to witness the might and the glory of God this very year upon the lives of his children. That when Biafra comes, you will know to worship God forever and ever. This year. Just watch and see. Because in the zoo, their cutoff mark is out. I want to start with this. Their cutoff mark is out. And can you believe that in Abia, you need to score 180 if you're a male, 180 if you're a female, to qualify to go to a unity school, which is a federal government secondary school. Now, this is one Nigeria for you. What is paining me is not that the Janjaweeds are doing this and the Yorubas are supporting them. What is actually getting me angry is that our people, after seeing this level of entrenched injustice, year in, year out, month in, month out, somebody will still have the temerity to stand up and say, we want a restructured Nigeria, we want to be in Nigeria. I want you to understand the level of Oh my goodness, idiocy in the brains of these people that open their mouth to talk about one Nigeria. And we are all going to ask the question this evening. Can you tell me the reason why Abia State, the reason why Enugu State is 134? Why Imo State is 138? Why is it that in Osun State is 127? In Ondo State is 126? In Ogun is 131? Whereas in Taraba, in IPOB, you need to score 3 or 2. You went into an exam hall with your fellow countryman or countrywoman, and you wrote the same exams, and you came out, and the examiners are telling you that if you come from Yobe State, if you come from Zamfara, if you come from Taraba, if you come from Sokoto, the only thing you need to score is 9 to be considered as somebody who have now passed that very exams. And for their females, it's slightly higher. Because in Sokoto, apparently, the women go to school more than the men. Only 13. If you score 13, you qualify. After going to unity school, having scored only 2 marks. 2 marks means in Yobe State, once you go to the examination hall, you write your name. You come out, you have passed. Whereas in other places, in Ogun State, in Kwara State, for instance, in Enugu, in Ebonyi, in Delta, you must score over 110 to be considered. So someone walks into an examination hall and writes his name from Yobe. They come out and they are now qualified to go to unity school. And you are in one Nigeria. Now, my concern is this. Are you telling me that your pastors are not saying this? Are you telling me that those that claim they are part of this Let's Keep Nigeria One, are they not seeing this injustice? Those that came out to protest for Black Lives Matter, don't they see this? Those that claim they have NGOs and fighting for equality, don't they see this? I'm asking, don't the British High Commissioner see this? Don't the US ambassador understand what is going on? Are you telling me that the German ambassador is unaware of what is happening? Are you telling me that all the missions of every civilized nation to the zoo called Nigeria, are you telling me that they're not aware of this very broad daylight, blatant discrimination? Now I'm asking you, those that want us to be part of one Nigeria, on what basis, therefore, are you asking me to be part of one Nigeria? On what basis? This is why a lot of our men spend their time gossiping. They don't attack the issues that matter. I want to ask every senator, every House of Reps member, in which country of this world do you have not those but triple standard? One standard for Yobe, for Taraba, for Sokoto, for Zamfara, for Abuja, for Katsina, for Kanu, for Kaduna, for Jigawa, and a different one for those in Imo, Abia, Cross River, Ocean. I ask you, therefore, based on what is happening, these are our children, those going to secondary schools. These are little children, the ages of 10 and 11. So, from that very age, you are telling them that they do not matter, that they have to aspire not to be excellent, but to be mediocre. Because if there is no incentive, if somebody who scores only 2 marks from the can go to unity school, then what is the incentive for studying to score over 130 or 134, as the case may be, for Enugu and Imo? Just bring that to me. You have senators, you have lawmakers, you have those championing one Nigeria, saying Nigeria used to be great, to be great. How can it be great? How can you subscribe to be in a society where somebody from somewhere, because they are janjaweed, they don't go to school, they sniff glue from morning till night, they move cattle from place to place, they only score 2. All they need to remember when they go into the exam hall is their name, and they have passed. Is that very fair? Is that how to run any country? And why are those who should be speaking out not speaking out? There are a rented mob of, should I say, unemployed and slightly educated fools in Abuja. You know what I always write and petition. If you see their shirts, they always have blue pen, red pen, and black pen. They, you know, that plastic beak. They light it up. That's their petition writers. That's what they do. Hawking, let's say, their ERAT services to anybody who is willing to pay them top money. Do you see what they have done to you? Your children have to squire and they want to be president. So you're telling me that somebody who is half educated, who can barely mention his name, is worthy to be president after president after president of a corruption, where those who are educated from the South just sit on the sidelines and just watch. And you're telling me that everything is right about this Nigeria. I want to ask the British High Commissioner, because they are the ones in this mess. Are you telling me you're not aware of this? That is why we are going to write to each and every one of them to remind them, at least to inform them, that they are in a place where if this were to happen in the USA, the riots will not end. Were this to happen in the UK, the riots will never end. Were this to happen anywhere in Europe, you will have all commentators, all columnists writing and talking about it from morning till night. Why are you doing something in the zoo called Nigeria? Why not, I ask you? These are the things to ponder. These are the things that you need to consider, because it's very, very upsetting. Very, very upsetting. And that is why the zoo must fall. That is why the zoo must fall. People prefer to live on lies and deception. You know what is happening every blessed day. There is something I'm going to play for each and every one of you to listen to tonight. What is happening inside the zoo? You know these things very well. Your bishops, they know. Your pastors, they know. Your reverend fathers, they know. Everybody is aware. Your politicians, they know. Your so-called elders, they know. But they have all kept quiet. Why is it difficult for an average man to confront evil and say that it's bad? All they care about is tithe and offering, tithe and offering. Every blessed week, impunity is happening. They never come to the congregation and they say to them, "Oh, my children, how come you scored over 100? You can't go to school." There's somebody who only scored 2 in school. I ask these pastors, do you at all look at the congregation and ask them these questions? Are you telling me that as a so-called a House of Reps, House of Assembly, no government chairman, a councillor, are you not aware of this entrenched injustice? And I'm asking every Nigerian, tell me where else in the world such travesty will be allowed to stand. Show me where. You can't, can you? They want me to be part of Nigeria. This is why because all of you are hypocrites. You are all hypocrites. Now listen. The injustice did not stop there. Everybody is there now watching as violent Islam jihad is coming. Sweeping and killing people every blessed day. Cutting off our hearts and putting them in place. There was no outrage. There was no shock. Because a Biafra woman was killed. Her right leg cut off. Her left leg cut off. Her cut off. Her head cut off. Her neck severed. Her hands cut off. I don't see anybody complaining in America. I don't see anybody complaining in Britain. I don't see any diplomatic frenzy. That woman belongs to somebody. Has a father and a mother, maybe children, who knows? Nobody cares, nobody wants to know. And after seeing all of that, somebody is telling me about one Nigeria. That is where I begin to, that is why I get upset with most of them. That is why I insult them. That means you're very cold, you're callous, you are evil. You want me to belong to a country where somebody can wake up one morning and decide to kill me for no reason, and that person will just go scot-free. In most instances, he or she will get paid for it because they are following. And that is the country you want me to belong to. Let us hear them to show you how evil the zoo is. Listen, please. Listen.
Mr. Secretary, can you hear me?
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so a call by the governor. The government stopped the influx of herdsmen from the country. Now, remember this.
A governor is calling for a stop to the influx of herdsmen, and I've said this thing repeatedly. Can anybody then tell me why the southern borders are closed? You have politicians in the south, so that is to tell you that every politician you have in the southern part of the zoo of Nigeria is in the pockets of the Fulanis in the north. And that is punishment from God. Because as we were selling slaves, so we are the Yoruba also. The name is actually Duduwa, not Yoruba. Duduwa also selling their own slaves. Those that were selling their slaves. Badagry. Big time, selling slaves big time. That is why you see how God punishes people who go against him. Slavery is evil. Before other people around the world begin to atone for their role in slavery operation, Africans must first apologize to black Americans for selling them as slaves. We sold our people. A white man did not just wake up one morning and come having us. No, we were the ones, and this is the result of it. The same rubbish is continuing today. Those of them in the northern part of the zoo, they opened their borders from Sokoto to Meduguri. Everybody can come into Nigeria. Go to Agatu, and kill them. Our army is there to protect you. El Rufai will protect you. Is this one Nigeria you want me to belong to? But in the south, the borders are closed. And you're telling me that your so-called southern elders that they are normal? You want me to respect them? They are there, and this level of impunity is going on. And they kept quiet. And you want because of one Nigeria. Do you see how foolish you are? Those of you idiots from the south claiming that you want to be part of one Nigeria. When will you develop brain and be able to reason? Why did they close your borders in the south but open the ones in the north? Why? You don't ask questions. You don't in your life ask any questions. Nothing whatsoever. Because your brains are empty. All you care about is allocation, or where to steal money, or which politicians to carry back for. After 4 years, who knows? You might start from TC, transition channel for the government, and from there you make your own money as well. You move your families abroad. You buy a fancy mansion in the USA, and you're traveling and coming back. And that's it. That's one Nigeria. That is your lot in life. Because you're a southern politician. You have been programmed to destroy your own people. Especially in Biafra land, our own politicians, by the likes of all the rest, designed to destroy your race. That's all you do. Destroy your own people. Hear them from the north. Hear them very well. Hear them.
Decision has happened before as to what to do with that movement within the country. So it's one thing to stop from another country. Should this be extended to movements within the country? And if that happens, what happens when they say, look, we've got right to move around?
Those with the right to move around are the cattle headers, the Fulani. You are telling me anywhere in the world are people normal? People are rioting all over the world because of the death of one black man in America. One black man was killed and the whole place is going up in flames. Do you know that a Biafran, an Igbo woman was killed, her body parts cut into pieces and scattered in a farm? Not one single protest. All those writing their long, useless grammar, I was waiting for them. Not one single protest. I said not one. That is to show you how subdued we have become as a people. Now, You're telling me in a country where you claim that foreigners are coming to kill you in your own land, and it is being discussed as if it is they've just gone to a party somewhere. Just so flippantly. Oh, if you close the borders in the north, how about those moving? I said they have right. People are discussing the death of fellow human beings as if it is just nothing. As if they've just squashed a tiny mosquito somewhere in their room. Can you believe that? These are the things that when I think about it, and a black man, I begin to go crazy. I don't understand people. You'll be shocked. Listen.
Yeah, the call, like I said, the call by the governor to stop the influx of the herdsmen across into Nigeria is a very excellent call. But it should go further than that. And I don't know whether that call, whether the government is together, whether the state governors are in tune with the presidency, or each one of them is doing in his own state. But one thing I know is that I have already seen this here, that there are hundreds of thousands of these killer herdsmen, which the governor has confirmed that when they come in, they are heavily armed.
This is a proof that you have no president, you have no vice, you have nobody in power. I don't know how else to explain it to black people to understand it. That was why the Zoo High Commission, their embassy in Ghana was pushed. The president, how can you demolish? Do you know what the meaning of an embassy? From what they are discussing. That is, men are coming in and killing you. The likes of El Rufai are arming and providing, should I say, political and military cover for these killers to come in, to take over our land, to make the geopolitical that you have right now the home of Fulanis across the Sahel. That is their game plan. You know it and I know it. Now the question is, what are you doing about it? We know what we are doing. All of you talking about one Nigeria. I want to ask you, is it the system? Is it which aspect of life is salvageable in Nigeria? I said, which aspect is salvageable? Which aspect is salvageable? There is none. Killers are coming into your country, and this man that is being interviewed by channels is saying, presidency. Where is that man Buhari? You say, oh, his insurgency. His insurgency will come. He's a hard man. He's a general. Where is he? Have you seen how cleverly channels no longer talks about Buhari? Oh, that is the president. He's now presidency. After all these pointers, what again is stopping people from understanding that you have no president? Do you know the meaning of an embassy? An embassy is a foreign land. Let me not use an abstract explanation. Anytime you go to the U.S. embassy, or their consulate in Abuja, or their consulate in Lagos, once you walk to that premises, you are on U.S. soil. Nigerian government cannot come there to look for you. Remember Chile, when Assange ran into Chilean embassy in London? Did go there to arrest him? No. Did the army go there? No. Because that piece of territory is Chile. You can't go in there. International diplomatic protocol. Now, once you invade an embassy, it's tantamount to the violation of that country's sovereignty. That is how it is. For the embassy not to be invaded, it was demolished. The commission in Accra was demolished. You have not heard anything from the president of a country whose land was invaded. What does that mean? This is why I'm angry with all these fake pastors that are fixated on tithes and offering. Do you see the reason why? Tell me why a country, if you ask me, go and invade the US embassy in Abuja. Trump, as you're invading, the president is talking immediately. Go and try it anywhere in the world. But you're telling me that the embassy of Nigeria was no president. Absolutely none. None whatsoever. Headsmen are coming. Do you understand my anger against these people? This is what I'm talking about, the brain of a black man, inability to discern, to reason, to think. People don't even know about what an embassy is. They don't know the city of an embassy. They don't understand it. You think it's just you go and get visa and you travel. Or you go and get your passport renewed. Do you know an embassy? That piece of embassy in who are these people, for goodness sake? Who are they? What sort of human beings are these? They don't think, they don't reason. These are the people in the zoo we're talking about, and that is why we must lead to as imminently as possible, because some people don't listen anymore. They're like the Janjaweed. Why they are calling, I have no idea. Why they are calling, I have no idea. But they will call. They will call. That is who they are. That is the way we reason. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by that caller. Because they will be calling when the lines are not open yet. Why would they be calling? Do you see the reason why blacks are in a mess? Do you now understand it? Why we are in a mess? Do you see the reason why the foreigners can do what they can do? Because every ambassador in the zoo has been bribed. UK, US, Germany, all they are there for is how much they can loot. As for politicians are looting, so are they looting as well. Since you want to destroy yourselves, help you destroy yourselves. That's what they're doing. Do you now understand it? Do you understand it now? The mess that people are in. The building block for every society, so to speak, is fairness, equity and fairness. What is the fairness in having different colors of marks? Not just maybe 10 or 15 or 20. I have to get 134 from you to go to school. But somebody that is a Janjaweed from the north will need to score 2. And when you have them as president, as finance minister, as the head of strategy and planning of finance, as the head of budget, you want to move forward to be like Singapore, to be maybe like India, to be growing. Are you not insane? Because from their education, you shall know them. I have said it before, and I continue to say it, that the reason why we are so messed up the way we are is because we are in darkness. Some of you are in darkness. I was born a Biafran. Some of you are born into darkness. So and we are the light of the world. I say it because every Abrahamic faith that you have, the 3 great religions of the world, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, everybody alludes to the fact that God is light. I said everybody. From the Old Testament to the Quran, everybody alludes that God is light. You come from a place called darkness, and you want your lives to be better. How can it be better? In the book of Isaiah 60, 19 to 20, says this there very clearly, that Elohim will be your everlasting light, and your days of sorrow will come. We know what we are doing. Sometimes, if you don't understand it, say you don't understand. Is it the book of Psalm 97:11, that the light shines on the righteous, and joy on the upright? Everything is about light. Everything is about light. It is everywhere. All the way to the book of John 1:15, Justice 11:7, everywhere is lit with what light represents. Light is in darkness, and darkness can never overcome it. We are light. We Biafrans are light. And as the name implies, Nigeria, which means a darkened black territory, can never ever prevail over us. see where we anchor our agitation on the promise of God. When I say we are anchoring our agitation, people don't understand it. They think we are being too religious now. I studied the Old Testament that underpins Judaism, New Testament that underpins Christianity. I even went to Quran. You know, I'm studying Quran, and I found the same thing. And I can tell it to you. The best we found in the Quran is Surah An-Nur 24:35. Surah S-U-R-A-H and A-N. No, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. That God is light. Do you see what we call ourselves Umuchineke? They know who we are. That we are the children of light. Do you understand it? Because this Surah An-Nur 24-35 says, God is, I'm now quoting Quran for you so you understand it. Because we are scholars, we read. I'm quoting Quran for you so you know. God is the light of the heavens and the earth. The example of his light is like a niche, wherein is a lamp. The lamp is in a crystal, and the crystal shining as if it is like a pearl, like a radiant star, lit from the oil of the best olive tree that is neither of the east nor of the west. People don't even of it. Light in here that will answer in our villages. You have no idea. I'm telling you that every major religion in the world recognizes who you are. But you don't know who you are. That is why you're subjecting yourself to a construction built by a man, built by the hands of a man. Look at children of God. Instead of you to submit yourself to the creation of the Almighty, you're submitting yourself to the creation of a mortal. Very shameful and very successful. But we are here to correct you. And as a result of that, you remain in mourning. That is why we have been suffering from the man. They keep shrinking us. They have not struck us so much that if you ask a typical idiot in Abuja, where is the southeast? Igbo land, the southeast. The 5 states. Because of that pain and suffering that we are undergoing, that was why Elohim Chukwokika Biama made us blind. We have forgotten there are Igbo people in Kogi. We forgot there are Igbo people in Benue. We forgot there are Igbo people in Cross River. We forgot there are Igbo people in Akwa Ibom. We forgot there are Igbo people in Bayelsa. Yes, Bayelsa. Yes. We forgot they took Igbo people away from us in rivers. Took them away from us in Delta. Took them away from us in Edo. Now, are you feeling? Because we have become blind. We no longer seek the face of God Almighty in heaven. As our name says, I say what I say because of what our name says is who we are. Onyinye Chineke. Onyinye Chi. That is our name. That is our own name that God gave to us because we represent the light. The name is everywhere. All the way from Anambra, which is the capital of Igbo land, all the way, every part you have in here. Everybody answers light in here, light everywhere. And then you come, you cocoon yourself in darkness, that is the zoo, and you want God to bless you. God cannot bless you in Nigeria. It's not possible. It is impossible. If you like, remain in Nigeria for 1 trillion years, God will never ever bless a Biafran. Is that individually you may be rich, maybe like it may be better or innocent or whatever. You may be boy to Janjaweed and they give you something and allow your business to thrive. But the road that leads to your village will be a death trap. You will encounter armed robbery. You will encounter civil strife. You will encounter pain. You will see suffering on the faces of those that will come to your house every morning. Your life will never be complete if you don't know. Now listen to what is happening to us. There is no lockdown in the north. No lockdown in the north. In Biafra land, they said we should lock down. We should go indoors and stay indoors and lock down. Yes? And let me tell you what's happening as a result of that. Let me tell you what's happening as a result of that. Listen carefully. Listen. She's speaking Igbo and of course dialect. They says it at home. So everybody's at home now, as usual. Now look at how we are being dealt with, how we are being punished. To tell you that the hand of God is in what is happening to us. I'm being honest with you. People who are not in the spirit cannot understand what we're saying. You can never ever understand what we are saying. Because we are now preaching the truth. That is why every force of darkness have now come to fight us. Including Facebook. And I want it to be posted. Where Facebook openly wrote to me and said, we disagree with this your post that you made. We are limiting, which means suppressing the number of people that will see it. And that's exactly what I'm doing today. And who are those doing it? Yoruba people working for Facebook. Black people doing this. Do you now understand the mess? The heart of a black man is evil. People, you're elevating whites and talking down on black people. But all the evil happening is from black people. The people suppressing not just mine, every active IPOB family member on social media on Facebook, his or her account is being suppressed. Have you asked yourself why? And those who are doing it. Do you think the Zuckerberg in California are doing it now? They got a contract from Nigeria. They hired people to put them in it. The same way they hired how they hired people to be managing BBC for them. They had the program manager for BBC, all funny people. Are you aware of that? Our enemies are plentiful, but we are going to prevail. I'm telling you without any doubt. We have prevailed already. I say without any doubt, we have prevailed. What they don't know is that Facebook doesn't control YouTube. We are there streaming live. They don't control the FMs in Biafra land. We are there live. They don't control the satellite. We are satellites live. They cannot tell tuning what to do. They cannot tell Sweet Radio what to do. They cannot tell Simple Radio what to do. They cannot tell Garden Radio what to do. In all these platforms, people are listening to us. That's how Elohim. That's how it works. Let us listen to our mother. Biafran governors have said, don't go out. If you come out, we'll kill you. Meanwhile, the coming from the north. Let's listen to our mother. From Ongwa. I will interpret for you, please. Just listen to her. Yes, ma'am. They brought their... All our farms are finished.
Okay.
In our own land, our mothers go to the farm. They say, if you come close, we'll kill you. We'll rape you and we'll kill you. In our own land, they brought their light. While the governors are saying, sit at home, lock in, stay at home. Our farms are now fertile grounds for rape and murder, destruction of farm produce in our own land, in the land of the rising sun, the very center of this universe. I'll say universe, I'll say the earth. Can you believe that? These are governors. These are so-called political leaders. They push themselves elite. Do you see what they're doing? Do you see why they hate IPOB? Do you see why they don't want us to survive? Because we tell the truth. These are our mother. Who will hear her voice if not for us? Who will hear the voice of this woman if not for us? Let's listen. They into our farms. They basically destroyed the farm produce, fed it to their cattle, and said to our mothers, if you come, we'll kill you. Listen. They have guns. They have guns and knives. Our mothers can no longer go to the farm. As I told you, in the year 2013, I warned you. I said, a time will come, they will rape your daughters. Your mother will be afraid to go outside. I told you in 2013, I warned you. But you won't listen. You're doing one Nigeria. You say of one Nigeria. Want to be one Nigeria. You want to form a group, counter IPOB, Have you seen your one Nigeria? Have you seen Azikiwe, whatever the idiot is, have you seen the result of your one Nigeria? Have you seen the damage that's done to us psychologically, our mothers? Because where we come from, our mothers don't go to the gym. They don't go to old people's home. They go to the farm. It's a form of exercise. They can't go to the farms. In our own land, in our own time, 2020. People are running about, I'm a Nigerian, I'm evil. This thing, Nnamdi Kanu is doing with IPOB. Listen to our mother in the village. Because you're in Abuja, as an idiot, the idiot that you are, you're in Abuja, fooling yourselves. You're in Lagos, fooling yourselves. As our mother in the village, afraid to go to the farm.
I don't know we can tell. I want more than challenge. Okay.
They are dying of hunger. They can no longer go to the farm. These are our mothers. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? And people are doing, they are doing, and Gulf and Houston, they are doing Igbo in America. The Igbo village in America. That's what they have in the village. And their mothers, and they have no shame. They are not ashamed of themselves. And when white man looks at all these things that is happening, because you have no shame, that is why they treat you the way they treat you. You have no class and you have no shame. That's your mother in the village. And you're in America and you're in Europe. Talking about one Nigeria. Let's move the country. Let us try and move the country forward and see what happens. You're busy speaking English you don't even understand. Whereas in the village, your mothers cannot go to the farm. And you're not ashamed of yourself. You're not ashamed. That is why I preach this gospel the way I do. If you look at the zoo called Nigeria, ask me why people are quiet. Tell me why your pastors, even those in Ngwa in Aba, tell me why you will not go and condemn this woman's experience. The pastor was interested in tithes. That handbag she's carrying, how much do you bring it? Put it in my palm. Your plight doesn't concern them. So what you're doing is that you're witnessing wickedness on every side. From politicians, from your clergymen, from the traditional rulers. And when things are this way, the only way forward is an absolute overhaul of the system. A revolution. And that's what we're having. And what we will have. If they left the northern doors open, allow terrorists to come in and take over our land. And then we decide to confront them. You see BBC. You see BBC? That won't come. BBC will not come. You will see BBC. Nothing, no, they won't come. But any day now, any day, you see what happened in Delta State. In Akwana. You saw it. As soon as they began raping, the moment we got up to say enough is enough, Channels was there the next minute. We are all, don't move them. Nigerians now living the first. This is the reason why we said no to elections. Because we know the quality of politicians on display. We knew that a time like this would come that would require leadership, strong leadership. And we also know that they will fail. Have they not failed? Have they not failed, all of them? They have failed. To make matters worse, how they can open doors in the north and people are coming in is just beyond me. That's why I want to play for you. I want to listen to what he has to say. Listen to him to what he has to say. And I say to you, if you are kicked off from my page, which they are doing, and may plenty, just of the app listen, or go to YouTube, we listen. they think they can frustrate us, idiots. That's how we feel. Listen carefully, please. Listen.
I went to from the Kwatarakwasi Kankara Funtua route. I saw Hausa youth up in the road.
Full of Hausa youth. So anybody is united in North is what is talking about. Because of what we are doing now, the Hausa youth, they have woken up. They have now seen what we saw many years ago. Hausa youth are now blocking the road. Hausa. But if you see all the atrocities being committed by terrorists, you will think, oh, it's Hausa Fulani. Do you see what I said? It is not Hausa Fulani, it's only Fulani that is on this man. Have you heard this man? He was speaking on national TV, which is channels, APC television, telling them the truth. Hausa blocks the road against Fulani because they're fed up. You have some people who are supposedly in Abuja talking rubbish. One of us are running away. You can put your head in it. As usual. As Azikiwe did. Your mothers can no longer go to the farm. And you're not ashamed of yourself. Listen.
When I asked, what is this? And
Hausa people are being killed. Hausa people are being killed. Hausa are being killed. Are you listening? Government is not doing anything. Why? Because there is no government. That is why the government is not doing it, because there is nobody in power. Nobody is in office. Are you listening? Nobody is there. They bring down your embassy in Ghana. Nobody's talking. Foreigners are coming in with AK-47 to kill you in villages. Nobody is talking. They kill, they rape, they dismember our people. Nobody's talking. And you're telling me you have a government? No, it is now that I actually don't know. Let me tell you one thing. That is your pastors, your politicians, and they are all working hand in hand. Now they can no longer sell us as slaves. Believe me, if they had the opportunity, they'll start all over again. Because they cannot sell us. The only thing left for them is to punish us as much as possible, to make our lives as miserable, as intolerable as possible. If I die, we can die. You're telling me that 40 years ago, even after the war, you come into 6 pieces, scatter her bodies everywhere. Of course not. That is the sign of the kind of living. This is the era of this is the era of foreign politicians. This is the era of high tech. This is the era where caliphate have come out full force everywhere. And the man is saying, even are being killed. Now, why everyone rise up and say to hell with this? Every other is a peaceful group. Everybody is peaceful. Everybody is Yoruba is Oduduwa is peaceful. Biafra is peaceful by nature. How are people peaceful by nature? How are they peaceful people? Ask yourself this question: who are the ones doing all this killing? This man is always Fulani. It's them. 2 marks to go to school. Only 2. Only 2 to go to school. That will score 140. Has that ever happened before? Do you now understand what you're in? Do you understand the mess you're in? That is what we are trying. That is what we're doing. And we're trying to make you understand. We speak English, you don't understand. We speak, you don't understand. We speak Efik, you don't understand. How do you want us to explain this to you so you understand it? And it is your responsibility, your duty, your responsibility to do something about it. Now listen, please. Listen carefully.
Noticed that I talk to, they don't speak English.
Uh-huh.
They don't speak Hausa. Because I said, came to me now. I said, may I say, why are you talking? Let's say, so they can put a she talk French. And they say, it's not feeling comfortable. And as we talk, I find some of these people are from Mali, so from Mauritania. Now, what we are saying is,
Mali and Mauritania invading your land, coming to Abia State, going to Imo, going across Biafra land, Bayelsa, rivers, killing people at will. I have a president. I can't have. Hi, Nisio black people, you people are astonishing. You amaze me. You know, there is a level of stupidity that will exist. You start avoiding for your own good. When somebody says, I am a Nigerian, avoid that person for your own good. If somebody says, oh, we believe in one Nigeria, avoid that person for your own good. You're telling me that in a country of professors and lawyers and doctors and what I call backyard elite, people can come from Mauritania, from Mali, speaking laissez-passer Français, I don't know what they call it. They can come into the zoo, travel all the way to Benue, go to Agatu and kill people because they are Fulani. So, in case you're wondering, those coming from Mali, and they're not just any, they're from Mali and from Mauritania. Fulani, they come into your land and they kill you. And on top, some idiot will come and tell you one Nigeria. And it's time we start stoning them all. It's time we start stoning them. And to make matters worse, there are places now in Katsina. AIT was reporting. Katsina villagers now pay monthly fees to bandits to evade attacks. Who call them bandits? Yoruba newspapers. Yoruba media. These are Fulani terrorists. They are not called bandits. They are terrorizing Hausa people in Katsina. Fulani bandits terrorizing Hausa people in Katsina. Why are they doing it? Because Hausas were foolish enough to allow them to come into their land 200 years ago. And this is the result. The same thing that some idiots want us to do now. Oh, what we want is restructuring. What IPOB is doing is not good. All we want is restructuring to restructure the polity. Talking rubbish. Restructure so that sometime in the future, Anambra State will be like Katsina, where we'll now be paying the Fulani settlers in what's it called again? You know, Bunike. We're paying them now to maybe to go to stream to go fetch water. You know, they're in Bunike big time. They're there, camped big time. And some idiots in the USA going there from Bunike, they are just in the USA eating hamburger, talking rubbish in America, whereas their village is gone. That's how foolish they are. How foolish they are. You know, that's something about us is that we don't see things or call things for what they are. Do you go for Bunike? Selling land and giving it to Fulani. So Fulani, Bunike is gone. Go there and fetch water, let's see. The same thing that the Hausas did. Ignorantly and stupidly allowed Fulanis to come in. Today, they are as useless as the zoo itself. They are now paying bandits to be able, they are paying Fulani terrorists to be able to go and look for something to eat. In Nigeria, with a president, with a vice, with a chief of army staff, are you not daft? Are you not? Why won't I speak to you anyhow? Because you behave like a fool. I want me to give you respect. How is that possible? I'm asking you. How is that possible? How? How? You're in a country with a president, and people are coming from Mali, from Mauritania to come and kill you, and you keep quiet. And you're a president? You people are jokers. Honestly, you are all jokers, all of you. Jokers all of you in the zoo. You are a complete and absolute mess. What some of you don't know, I'll keep saying it, is that some of your criminal pastors are working hand in hand with these equally corrupt politicians who are not only corrupt but very mediocre. They know how to do nothing. You don't have no light, no electricity, because they are evil, their mind, the same slave trade mentality. You know, a black man to sell, to make a fellow black man suffer is what they enjoy most. Black people. That is the truth. If not, why would we be selling each other? Why did we sell our people? Now we want everybody to apologize to Africans. That's rubbish. Africans are the ones selling their own people. Nobody needs to apologize to us. I'm being honest with you. That's nonsense. Apologize for what? It was blacks that sold black people. If anyone is to apologize, black people from Africa should apologize to blacks in South America and blacks in North America. That's how to do it. We are the ones that sold people. If there is no market, nobody buy anything. Now that all the supermarkets are shut, do you go to buy anything? But if they open it, you go there, you buy something. It was Africans that opened the shop to say, we have our wives and our children to sell. And the world came to buy them. As they come and there's no one to buy, they take it by force. That's how it is. Just by the way you have looting everywhere, isn't it? If you go to buy something in the shop and they tell you, oh, we're not going to sell to you, you loot the shop and you need something, you take it. That's how life is. Africans opened up their land to say, I have my uncles to sell. Some will say, oh, I want to sell my mother. I don't have, let me sell my mom. And they say that without conscience. I want God to love you. You must be insane. That is the truth. Africans should be apologizing to black Americans for slave trade. Leave Barclays alone and leave Church of England alone. If you have no market, they will not be coming to buy it from you. That's the truth. I am going to release our inquiry lines again, please. So if you see anything going wrong where you are, I want all of you to go and tell your pastor, your reverend father, whoever, you are a man, tell them next week Sunday, they must speak out. If they don't know what to talk about, tell them what to talk about. They must speak out and tell them what is happening. They must speak out. There's nobody in Asorok. Once they do things, it will be better for everybody. If they fail to do it, don't give them no offering. No offering. No tithe, no offering. They must speak the truth. They have the microphone and they must speak the truth. You see them publish those pictures, please. See the pictures. They keep flooding. When Jubril was there, they were going to see Jubril. Bishops go to see Jubril. They know that boy is not 2015. They know it. Kind the word of God. They see themselves. And I'm asking them, that boy you're going to see, is that Buhari? All these bishops going to Asorok, that boy is there. Of course, Jubril, he has now run away. The little, that comedian who is there now, that they gave a wife to last week, is that Buhari to you? That little boy is not even up to 25 years old. Is that Buhari to you? You're carrying the word of God, Bible. Some of you are carrying Quran. Come on to speak the truth. Because you don't want to speak the truth. And Buratai, not Buratai, who is there now? Maybe will send a Fulani hit squad in the army to come kill you. And nobody will enjoy your private jet. And you think we don't know? We know now. That is why you cannot speak the truth. And when I tell you the truth, you find it difficult to comprehend. Difficult to comprehend. The pictures are there. Those that tell you that Buhari is a Messiah because I pray 7 times a day. And every day I tell God Almighty, I want my own life this year. I don't want to do one. No, this year. And this is a time for work very hard. Do exactly as I tell you and you see what will happen. We must move to Twitter. You can see what Facebook is doing. We must move to Twitter. But they buy up Twitter as well. They've done this thing to us before. In Israel, they bought the company using a cover in America to buy it. And they terminated our contract. They took our contract as a result of that. They have now bribed Facebook. And the US working in Facebook. We must I've been sounding this note of warning. Some of you don't want to hear. We must go to Twitter now. This year. We must go to Twitter to let the whole world know our story. If the world don't know, they have all the money, they have all the media, the Yoruba media is with them, because Yoruba is half Islam, half Christian. So you always work with the Fulani. Anybody Yoruba will come and work with you is deceiving you. Yoruba will always work with Fulani forever and ever. That is the fact of life. And that very, very well, please. Please publish the numbers again on WhatsApp, please. WhatsApp only calls. Tell us what is happening in your congregation. Tell us why your pastor, tell us what your pastor said. He went to the pastor and said, Pastor, why don't you condemn the fact? And condemn the fact that there's nobody in Asra? And tell us what your pastor says. The numbers are there, please publish it. Publish the number, please, on my page, on my Facebook, please publish it. Somebody wrote very movingly that I should be very polite to people. I should say what I'm saying, but I shouldn't insult them. Americans bought you as slaves. The Europeans bought you as slaves. The two great religions of the world bought you as slaves. Christianity bought you as slaves. That is the fact. You may want to deny it. Of course, the first slavery was sanctioned by the Pope. That is a fact. Go and do your research. I'm being a sentimental African buffoon who doesn't reason very well. Go and do your research. You'll understand it. The Pope gave his... In fact, go and Google it if you want. It was the Pope that gave authorization. There's nothing wrong with slavery. And I don't blame him. You have to... Some of you wanted to... You sold your mothers, you sold your fathers. Some of you came from lineage of slaves. Some of you in Abuja. And those of you petition writers with your pen, blue, red, and black. Looking for who to do boy for. I have something to write. I have an idea. Let me write. Maybe you use someone. So don't know that. Some of you don't know. Some of you don't know. That is why you are wallowing in ignorance. Because what I tell you is the truth. The truth you will not hear from anywhere else in the whole world. You can, nobody, the truth, nobody will dare tell you this very truth. I told America, I went to America, and I was every ambassador you send to Nigeria is because they see the truth and they lie to the State Department. I told them in America, face to face, your ambassadors to Nigeria are corrupt. They were shocked. They were looking at me. You said, what's this man? I said, yes. Yes, 100%. Every ambassador from a major country going to Nigeria is a millionaire overnight. They buy their silence. If you go to the now, from Abuja to State House, from Abuja to the foreign, I don't know what is wrong with these mad people everywhere. They will not listen. They will not listen. And I'm going to turn this line off completely. For these people are mad. They're insane. They are insane. And I will block them. Never again will they be able to call this line. Never. These people are mad. They're insane. Unbelievable. So that is why Fulani are making a mess of their lives. I don't understand people. I don't understand them. I just don't understand them. And I will never understand them until Biafra comes. Perhaps they will not be able to call again forever and ever. That's how it goes. You're deliberately trying to disrupt the flow of this very gospel that we're preaching. Facebook is having a heart attack. Don't you know that? They're panicking, writing to me all the time. This page is about to be unpublished. We will unpublish it. We are suppressing people coming to your page. We will continue to suppress it. These are Yorubas are the ones doing it. Yorubas are the ones doing it. Very, very sad indeed. Sad. That's how it is with black people. If you do you think we start selling each other today? It's from time. If there is no to buy like those from now it's now South. If there is like a Green Clark, if there is no you bought to sell you to, let me sell you to Fulani. That's how they get their money. all those 1 That is where they made their money. Of course, it took. So it's Ecuador. Assange is Ecuador, not Chile, please. It's Ecuador embassy, not Chile. Ecuador embassy. Thanks for the correction. Chile. It's Ecuador he was taking refuge. That place he took refuge in Ecuador is that territory belongs to Ecuador. I remember, do you know Prince Philip, the man you have now, the husband to have Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II? He was born in the UK. And when he was about to be born, the Prince Philip of Yugoslavia was about to be born. The hospital where he was born was converted into a Yugoslavian embassy. It was declared Yugoslavian territory because he is not allowed, a future heir to the throne cannot be born outside Yugoslavia. Are you listening to me? The hospital was named, declared Yugoslavia, so that the child prince can be born there. So in the future, he could have inherited his throne. That's how things are done. Every embassy is your home. If the police are pursuing you, you run an embassy, that's the end of it. They can't go in. Not Chile, please. I stand corrected. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very, very much for that. Ecuador skipped my brain. Thank you very much. A lot of people are calling in to say, I don't want to, don't call, please, no distraction. No distraction, please. And to tell you the mess you're in, which your pastors will never get out. Remember the man called Magu? Remember what I told them? A while ago, I told them, I just want to what is happening now is nothing. That's bring Olisametu. And I told them, the more mess you'll be in. Now, USA has an investigation into Funtua and the rest of them. And now, Magu is in trouble as well. And I remember telling you live that Magu of EFCC is a thief. I said, my justification for calling for the release of all these Okala and Olisametu is because those that claim that they are thieves themselves. I told you live on air here. And now what happened? Mami is now writing to the presidency because nobody's there. Nobody can remove Magu now. How can I remove him? He says that, listen to this. The Attorney General of the Federation of Justice, Mr. Barak, has recommended to whoever they are, I don't know who the person is, to sack Magu of EFCC. What did Magu do? He was diverting funds, which means looting. The loot, and also insubordination. EFCC, a Fulani man, is a thief, is a criminal, is a robber. But he put Olisametu in jail. Put Odjus Okalu in jail. Thankfully, Odjus Okalu is out. This is only the beginning. Except for this guy. By the time we are done with the Fulani Emirates, none of you will go to the US again. All the rest will be frozen. And that is the word that Trump signed. You don't know what it means. You don't, because of course we don't read. How do we know? We don't read. Tomorrow somebody will tell me, oh, you're trying to value Caucasians over people because we have failed to reason. And because we have failed to reason, there is no way I'm going to support evil. It's not possible. And when you are in a country where somebody who scores 2 out of 150, they told you, and they are made president. Somebody who scored 138, they say you are part of the 5%, you will not even appoint you, will not even consider you. And you're in that country. How do you want me to describe you? How, I ask you, how do you want me to describe you? That the list has come out. You'll be in Southern Sudan. I say yes, so may we be in Southern Sudan, because today Southern Sudan is the fastest economy in all of Africa. The fastest growing economy in Africa. The fastest growing economy in Africa is South Sudan. Because they are free from the Janjaweed of the north. And you're telling me, what we want is a restructured Nigeria. Oh, we are people, rubbish. Nonsense. We are going. Elohim Chukwu has broken the zoo. What else do you want God to do? Do a miracle and Biafra independence will be there. I've given an example with Jericho. Elohim said, just walk around the wall. That's all. I'm asking you, you're not going to walk around that rock 7 times, so with your 2 feet, no? Go to Twitter. We need millions of people on Twitter. And then you see how we're going to collapse just overnight. Because there's nobody there. There is nobody there. There is no Sibajo. There is nobody there. You do as you like. Don't you know that? End of the zoo. The people in Nigeria are Yoruba Muslims who are treating the Christians to align with their fellow brotherhood in the north. We have a pig somewhere, with his snout in the trough, a pig. Yes, you are here. That's all. So Biafra land is free. We are on our own. We have some that is true. We have as a treacherous group of how can I describe them? I have no words to describe them. The day that evil will be bare for all to see, that they know that these men don't deserve to live. I'm telling you the truth. Because of them, that is why when your mother goes to the farm, they rape her. Your mother won't tell you that she's been raped. If our mothers tell us what they encounter in the farms every blessed day, then you will know. I understand that very well. South Sudan, number 1. Rwanda, number 2. Ivory Coast, number 3. Cote d'Ivoire, number 3. Number 4 is Ethiopia. Number 5 is Senegal. 6 is Benin Republic. 7 is Uganda. 8 is Kenya. 9 is Mozambique. 10 is Niger. 11. There is no zoo. A Fulani woman that went to school with only 2 is in charge of your finance, and you want to be considered a developing country, you are insane. No president either. Your pastor will not tell you this, because let me tell you the truth, no amount of can be a job. The world is not like that. No amount of Holy Ghost fire or quoting of the Bible can give you accommodation. You can stand on the road, that old road, and pray and I don't know, go down a mountain. That road will never be built. Pastors should tell you the truth. It is governments that creates the enabling environment that allows jobs to be created. I will teach the zoo something. You see the railway building all over the zoo. Apart from that, I was the person that gave them the idea when I was at DSS. I gave them the idea to build railways. Me, Nnamdi Kanu, I told the Nigerian government to go and build railways. I told them they were wondering how they can get employment. I gave them the idea. But let me give you advice. Maybe there are 2 problems not able to understand or implement it. It is called, I've preached this before, political economy. Political economy is the marriage of economics. Now ask yourself, how did China become a major power in the whole world with so many instruments, billions of them? Are you telling me that all those people that transmitted from communism into capitalism overnight? Where did they get the capital from? That is the key thing as an entrepreneur. Where do you intend to get your initial capital from? In a country that is just emerging, what you need to do is you go through the phase of your development called the political economy, where the political aspirations match the economic potential of the very nation. You marry it together. In other words, you find government financing capital projects, and those capital projects are built by the companies in the very country so that the that is why in China you have Chinese firms, engineering firms, building skyscrapers, building roads, building bridges, building railways, building sewer systems. So the money stays within, unlike these where you graduate nearly 10,000 engineers every year. Beggar, a German firm, has a contract for life. Do you understand? So even your engineers do not have the opportunity to learn to improve on their skills. They end up driving Ketapep. Do you see how we've turned life upside down? The meaning of life does no longer exist. It doesn't exist. That's how foolish we are. People are now beginning to realize that is empty. Your daddy GOs, they know about this, but they will never ever utter any word. Because, believe it or not, some of these pastors, they depend on corruption. They fall Yoruba church will collapse. Do you know why? People will focus all their energy on the land for everybody. And once people realize that prayer and fasting cannot give you a job, prayer and fasting cannot give you a house, prayer and fasting cannot ever in your life give you a good road, they will abandon them. So for all these corrupt pastors to be relevant, they need corruption in Nigeria, and they need a broken system of in place. Simple logic. Because are you telling me, people will be busy if you don't today or get to free, you don't have to go to church. We'll be working 24 hours a day. We'll be working every day. We'll go to work, and then only then we realize that the knowledge of God is a personal encounter, not something about it's personal. Very, very personal. Why should the man of God destroyed? Why? And the president of the country affected hasn't said anything. What sort of human beings are you people? What sort of human beings are you people? What sort of human beings are you people? I don't understand it. I don't understand it, and I will never understand it until everybody begins to reason like a human being. Until we begin to reason like a human being. We do not reason like human beings. We don't. I tell you, it's just very shameful. Somebody came to me and said, please try to be kind. People that want to listen to you, but you insult people a lot. His name is Victor, because I read every comment I do. It's Victor. He wrote and he said, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, please, we want you to speak politically. We want you to be rude and insult tomorrow. He was writing. Remember that thousands of people are watching you. Thousands are watching you. Try to be polite. And I made myself a promise to this man called Victor Linus for actually writing and said I will be polite. But before I come on air, they had killed a woman and other parts all over the place in Biafra land. Our mothers can no longer farm. The zoo in Ghana demolished. No speech from the president. No one saying anything. Instead of the president, you have the president. The head of ECC indicted. Everybody can do as they wish. Why would I insult those who are already intolerable behavior? That's what I'm asking. So you see, Victor Linus is not my fault. As long as we continue to be stupid and foolish, it is my duty to continue to call out our people. Because anything you do that is foolish, I will tell you. Because this is the reason why we are still undeveloped. There was something I was shocked. I was shocked. It was yesterday, actually. Let me drink some water. I posted something on my page about Papa black people. Why is it all over the world? If we have people are is always black people. And then it came back to what I used to say all the time. The way we reason is flawed. That is number one. And number two, Africa is nothing to write home about. Black Africa is disgrace. As long as Black Africa is disgrace, Black people will continue to disgrace all over the whole world. And Africa will remain in darkness until the light of Biafra is allowed, more or less. Until Biafra is switched on by virtue of independence, Africa will continue to dwell in darkness. And every black person anywhere in the world is a fair game. Because even in Iraq, you believe that black guys, there are black in Iraq as well, and they are suffering. I want it posted, please. The community, black people, these guys, so they are black. Many are descendants of African slaves. We saw them also as before. Arabs came the bottles. Arabs came the bottles. Arabs came to buy us, brought Islam to us. We saw it hook, line, and sinker. And the blacks we are. The Europeans are taking us on the cheap. Taking us as compensation. That is why today you have a community of black people, descendants of slaves. They are in Iraq, and they said, what happened to Floyd George Floyd has taught them a lesson that they too are suffering in Iraq. Iraq voices. How did they get there? Through slavery. And who sold them? The black people in Africa. And one of you. Sometimes you're wasting your time. What God wants you to do, you have not done it. True repentance can only come by setting the God free. Until that comes, your body will never speak out against the evil happening. Because he is the direct beneficiary. He is beneficial in Nigeria. How do you have churches? How? People go because they are suffering. People are in pain. There is hunger and poverty. You have to go somewhere to look for a miracle. When you look for a miracle, then only then God, clarity of mind and a sense of purpose. You do everything. So that tomorrow you have food tomorrow. You they don't preach salvation, they preach prosperity. That God multiply, I'll give you all the rupees. And they are flying in their private airplanes. And you even go to the farm to go and have to sell to and you give them the money. They say all this is nothing. I am saying it now, playing it. We just for our role in slavery. We did. Africans must apologize, not Europeans or Americans. So we have to find life. I've shown it to you of excellence. The day we people through the coastal of Biafra land, your land, telling them that was the day that God said bye to Africa. That you people in the history of humanity to compromise the sale of your own people. In the history of the whole world. I want to against the word of God. I think you're insane. No God. The God you worship you have no idea who he is. He gave you a commandment. Do not sell anybody. If you sell, your punishment today for to Arabs and to Europeans, and you still have the temerity to get up and to say that's to you repented in Africa. You that sold them from Africa, have you repented? Have you repented yourself? You have not. The only reason why you're not selling us now is because there is sold in Libya. Where is this your righteous indignation? How you're not morally outraged? That is very second. What you done nothing, you done nothing. To go and pray and fast, so God will bless you as He blessed your neighbor, without going to work. Let me tell you something. Let me grow this. That money you pay as tithe every week, go and invest in Lagos stock exchange. And after you go back, and see, that is correct blessing. You will see it before your eyes. You will see God blessing you immediately. All the money you gave to your daddy GO to buy jet, how did you benefit from it? All the money you gave to GO to buy private jet and build my, how did you benefit? The money you gave to IPOB, we are fighting for Biafra, and Biafra will compensate. That is what is getting you. The money you give to the GO, unless you're telling me that to get into the kingdom of heaven, you need to buy your way through. Is that it? Of course, the people are complaining that the Facebook is cracking. It will crack. It will crack. Let us stop let us please go to YouTube and you go to Biafra is stable. I don't know if Radio Biafra Live is stable. Radio Biafra is stable. I think it's stable. My page is on tremendous attack. Heavy attack. We are going to come out of it and then restart it. We're going back live on my page. We are back again live on my page. On Facebook at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The whole world is listening. The time now is precisely, I think, in the blessed land of Biafra, it is 9 p.m. 9 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. I think they have shut the whole thing down altogether. Anyway, I think they have shut it down. I don't think. They don't want me to broadcast on my page anymore. Oh, nothing. They're coming back now. They're coming back. Oh, yeah. Zoo. And their Yoruba sidekicks. Radio Biafra is very clear. They're saying Somebody, Amy Patrick said I should continue. Yes, yes. Abaneje, yes, they said I should continue. Radio Biafra is loud and clear. So Radio Biafra is okay then. It's okay. That's very good. Then we are back again on my page. We are back again on my page. And I don't even know. Now they're not even showing me how many people who are listening. They can't even tell me how many who are listening. That is how terrible it is. They are panicking. They are panicking. They are panicking because they have lost it. They have lost it. They have lost it. And we have won as usual. The whole world is listening to us and they're panicking. There are blacks in Iraq, they are suffering, or the blacks in Iraq, and who is responsible for the suffering of black people in Iraq? Africans that sold them, please, not Arabs. Africans that sold Africans into slavery should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves. They're ashamed of themselves. Everywhere else is very clear, apart from my page. But we must continue to preach, as Elohim has commanded us to. We must preach this very gospel. Now, there was a man that attempted to speak. And I keep asking, why are you silent? I asked the pastors, the religious leaders, those that claim that traditional rulers, why? How come all of a sudden the Sultan of Sokoto is no longer, Sultan of Sokoto, you no longer speak? You no longer talk. One tried to speak and he said that Buhari is not active anymore. That is Pastor Ayodele. Instead of him to come out as a man of God to say Buhari is no longer alive, he said Buhari is no longer active, and we accept. And he said that the government will meet a greater challenge from IPOB. And I'm saying, of course they will. 2020, hey, they will, oh, they must. They must. I'm planning to leave this year. This year. What am I doing in the zoo? What am I doing in the zoo? What am I doing in the zoo? They brought out one idiot to say that South, you know, at least as I wrote, we have cured them of the disease of Niger Delta. Darkness inside darkness. And that is why the waters of the Niger Delta, as they used to call themselves, is black, polluted, and very filthy. Because you said you are Niger Delta, which is black, darkness, a delta of darkness inside Nigeria, which is darkness itself. Double darkness, only you. And you want to be developed. You have cursed yourself already. Now they have run to South. Now this Pastor Relay is telling you that the zoo is sitting on a time bomb. Why won't it be on a time bomb? Why not, I ask? Of course it will be on a time bomb. Why shouldn't it be? The question about if we are going home this year, or the zoo. Anyway, let me not say much. I will continue to focus my lectures on these critical areas, given that it has come to our understanding that the root of all the problems associated with the shameful plight of a black man, or should I say black people all around the world, stems from, it is coming from our subconscious ignorance. A black man is ignorant, subconsciously is ignorant of the facts of life. And what they have done is to wrap this very cleverly in this religion. They put it in religion, they wrap it. And that completes your stupidity. They take something and they wrap it in religion. That completes your idiocy. Religion cannot give us anything in life. It can only give you the grace of God. It cannot give you anything. Religion cannot give you nothing. Absolutely nothing. Only grace of God can. And grace of God is not the same thing as religion. There are people who don't go to church. They don't go to synagogue. They don't go to the mosque. And they are holy. Holier than those that go to all these places. If you don't know, let me tell you. We must continue. We need to continue. And as I said earlier, I want to crystallize, I want to substantiate the assertion I made earlier. I want to make it abundantly clear. They are hacking and attacking my page. My goodness me. Listen very carefully. Church of England and Bank of England apologized for historic slavery links. Anglican Church is saying today that the fact that they dabbled into slavery is a source of shame. Anglican Church, where some of us were baptized in. As soon as they stopped buying slaves to sell and make money, they told you Jesus is Lord. Hey, this UG black people, may the good Lord have mercy on us. Hey, no wonder they call us nigger, call us everything. The background, everything horrible they do to us. And they get away with it. A whole church of God. In that same, they come with the Bible, mind you. They brought good news, Bible, the knowledge of Jesus Christ. And what is the Bible? The Bible comprises of the Old and the New Testament. And these people, these Europeans that brought us this Bible, inside that same Bible, in the book of Exodus 21:16, Deuteronomy 24:7, the same Bible they gave us when they came. That Bible said, you should not sell anybody. It's in the Bible. Because once you're a Christian, automatically you follow the ways of Jesus Christ and then you're a Jew. That's what it means. You practice the religion of Moses. The same way that Islam, to an extent, practices the religion of Moses till tomorrow morning. That's what it means. That Bible that they brought and said, remember we used to call the Bible the good news. This good news, we are bringing you salvation through Jesus. Nobody's doubting that. But inside that Bible, it says you should not buy or sell anybody. After buying us and selling us and making money out of us and building beautiful cathedrals, beautiful churches, beautiful roads and cities, with our bones and our flesh and our blood, they said to us that the road to salvation, politically and economically, lies in the Bible, which is a lie. A big lie, of course it is a lie. Today, the church is apologizing. Church of England is apologizing. The church where some of us were baptized is apologizing for dehumanizing us as a race. Do you see where I have a problem with the brain of black people? It is not one priest or two, as it was with the Roman Catholicism and pedophilia. Not one or two. The whole church sat down, maybe did their synod meeting, and decided it will be economically viable for the Church of Jesus Christ, of Anglican Communion, to go and start selling fellow human beings from Africa to make money. A church. And as they were selling it, they were establishing their personages, establishing their churches, telling us they brought us good news. Black people. And this UG. Black. I God in heaven. Dear me. Church of England, which is Anglican Church, Anglican Communion, apologize for their historic links to slavery. We are ashamed, so says the church. We are ashamed of doing something that God said you shouldn't do. And that thing was contained in the same Bible you brought to us to say this is good news from Jesus. And that good news from Jesus, Jesus said you shouldn't sell your fellow human beings. And you did, you made money from it. And after, I don't know, maybe 130 years, you're now apologizing. And we are still going to those churches. This UG black. If you want to debate anything I've said, you debate me. Don't hide behind your foolishness and ignorance to talk crap. Debate me so I can swallow you alive with facts and figures. I'm ashamed, honestly speaking. When I tell you that the problem we have is in our brain, now you can understand it. So all these years, we've not even read the Bible very well. That's what it means. Now, it's only now that the Church of Anglican Church is now saying, please forgive us. And I expect the Roman Catholic Church to do the same. It was a Pope who announced slavery. A Pope of Catholic Church who announced it. It is the truth. Historical fact. That is what I preach. Historical. Take your useless sentiment to the grave. I don't give a damn. I preach the truth. Here is so good. Disprove me based on the points that I raise, not on your stupid village African sentiment. Have no time for that rubbish. Did Anglican Church dabble into slavery or not? The answer is yes. Was slavery not condemned by God in the Bible? Yes. Some will tell me, but the Bible said, be loyal to your slave, be loyal to your master. I said, it's because you're a black African man, you have no sense of reasoning. Do you know what is called Igbo Dibo? Have you heard about that before? Apprenticeship. That is what the Bible meant by an apprentice, be loyal to your master, not slave. Not slave. I don't know where these dumb people are coming from, honestly. Where they're coming from. Igbo. That is why you have Namuku, my master or my lord. When you go to Chanjamaka, when you go to area and you're doing apprenticeship, it's Igbo. That's what we call it. To be a slave. It can be translated into slavery. It doesn't mean literally you're the person's property, no. It means you're serving a master. That's why you call somebody my Lord. It doesn't mean that Lord in heaven. It means somebody you serve. That's the meaning of it. Some of us, we go to school, we don't even understand the, I won't call it, I won't use the word minutiae, nuances of English language. We don't know it. We don't know it. But we are all intellectuals, aren't we? We are all intellectuals. I don't know what is happening. They are panicking. I don't know. Maybe they have shut down my page. I have no idea. The gospel is too hot. They cannot handle it. Darkness is fleeing. They cannot handle it. The children of perdition, the offsprings of Lucifer cannot handle this gospel this evening. It's too hot for them. Disprove me on the facts, not your stupid sentiments. I'm not doing anything with it. I want facts. Biafra will be run on facts and figures. For your information. We are the ones fighting for Christianity. I am the one fighting for Christianity. I am fighting for Christianity, me. Our forefathers, as I wrote very convincingly, our ancestors were never afraid of any subject. Never. Everything was discussed in the open. Oh, don't discuss religion. Then you are not prepared for Biafra then. That's what it means. You are not ready for Biafra. Am I asking you not to believe in the nonsense that you believe in? Did I stop anybody from believing in whatever thing that you believe in? I am an Igbo man, an Igbo Biafran. And I grew up in the village. Not all these people that grew up in the township that know nothing. I grew up in the village. Onyenachiya, you and is between you and your God. Sometimes when you do something, they will say, which means that's the agreement between you and your God. Even your mother will tell you that. Sometimes a mother will lose a child. And you see people coming to console the mother, and the mother will say, that was the decision my child reached with his God. Some of you did not grow up in the village, so you don't know any of these things. You have no idea what they are. Spirituality in the township is different from the one we got in the village. Very, very different, I tell you. That is the decision he reached with his God. Even your mother will say it. which means that everybody, spirituality and the knowledge of God is a personal thing. It is not a group thing. It is personal between you and your God. That is why somebody can come out and go to the Father's shrine and destroy it and start a new one. Now it's taboo. Oh, don't discuss religion. Oh, don't. That was how they deceived you. That was why for nearly, should I say 300 years, you never knew, it never occurred to you that slavery is in the Bible, that God said no to slavery. Even the person that brought the Bible to you, he knew it was there because they wrote it. They gave it to you. Open the word. Oh, salvation has come from Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is salvation. Yes. Of course, we know that. But then they never showed you where he said that what the English were doing was wrong. What the same Anglican Church was doing is wrong. You give us Bible with one hand, you take us as slaves with another hand. Now you're apologizing. These are the people. Had people not debated religion, do you think Anglican Church would apologize? Had people not debated religion, do you think that all those pedophiles in Catholic Church would have confessed? Do you know how much the Catholic Church paid in compensation? Google it. So if they said, no, don't discuss religion, so that means you are now allowing pedophiles to molest our children. Because nobody should discuss religion. Who told you that in Biafra land? Who gave birth to you? Everything will be discussed. Everything will be discussed. We cannot hide under superstition and ignorance to talk rubbish. In Biafra land, everything will be out in the open. That is the type of country we want to run. For your information. For your information. You can believe in whatever thing you want to believe in. That is your business. That is your business. But I'm just giving you the facts. That the religion that you claim you believe in came through slavery. They took you as slaves. For your information. Go and read it. Read up on it. For your information. In my village, they haven't do Ogomwo. There are women who stay by the river. They worship a goddess in the river. There are some houses you go to see a woman who draws snake on the wall. Does that make them a less of a human being? No. That is who they want to worship. That is their business. Don't impose it on me. I won't impose mine on you. Don't impose yours on me. That's all. Onyena chia. I don't know how many times I will explain this all the time. Onyena chia, for your information. You go to church and you hand over your hard-earned money to somebody to go and buy a private jet. Are you not insane? Are you not an idiot? In the name of paying tithe. Are you not a complete idiot? And when I've been palliative, you want to share from the palliative. How many did your pastor bring to you? How many pastors shared palliatives? I'm asking you. How many shared it? I spent 50 million. How many of your pastors shared palliatives? I'm asking you. Go and buy the more jet now. And the gates of heaven will open for you. And you walk in mad black people everywhere. Do you know the funniest thing? Even Christian Association of Nigeria, they don't have ordinary Twitter handle. So all the killings being done is nothing. They depend on newspapers writing their press statements for them. As we are suffering, IPOB is suffering, spending over $100,000 every month, fighting the Satan that is zoo, fighting for the lives of Christians. I have published a letter that I wrote many times to Trump and to Pompeo that prompted them, in fact, in line with no, there are other people who are working. Let me put it that way, please, before they start complaining tomorrow. And send them the Kanu to glory for something. I write, go to my Twitter handle, you will see Christianity. Every blessed day, I fight for Christians. Every day. You that you're a Christian, are you on Twitter? How many times have you tweeted any word power to say Christians are dying? Are you on Twitter? I'm asking you. A whole Christian Association of Nigeria is not on Twitter. I'm the one that tweet for them. And people are dying, they cannot do anything about it. They cannot do anything about it. That is how daft some of them are. There are good men, of course. There are good men of God. I'm not saying that. If I think Coca also spoke again. Was it yesterday or today? He is outspoken. I said it. It's outspoken. Bishop Coca, the Catholic bishop of Sokoto. Hassan Coca. Very outspoken. He spoke again yesterday. I like him. He speaks out. Most of the priests that helped Biafra till tomorrow, they're all Catholics, mostly from Ireland. I like them. I respect them. It doesn't mean if I say something wrong, I will say it. Please. Please. Alleged Christian, let me remind all of you, and I want to post it. Alleged Christian persecution. Presidency accuses IPOB of misleading the United States and the United Kingdom. Not Christian, not CAN. IPOB. IPOB. The presidency of the zoo is because we did a lot of work. And it's still ongoing till now. And some idiots will rise up and stupidly and ignorantly try to accuse us of being anti-Christian because they are foolish. Very, very foolish people. Foolish. What I have done for Christians in Nigeria, all the bishops put together have not done half of it and can never do not a billion years. Over $100,000 every month. And instead of some of you to be grateful, you're busy talking rubbish. See if you're insane. Who is fighting for Christians if not IPOB? Who is fighting for Christians if not IPO on a consistent basis? Because you people, you are black people, you fight for 1 week and you give up. Why are you not on Twitter? Because you cannot post selfie on Twitter. It's a serious platform. Are you on Twitter? So you don't know that you can reach world heads of state via Twitter? You don't know that? Oh, goodness me. When the zoo presidency says IPOB is carrying this Christian matter on their head and lobbying governments of the world, some of you did not say it. You didn't say it, did you? We are spending our hard-earned money to try to make your lives better, to keep you safe in the zoo, and you're not grateful. You cannot be grateful. Something that your daddy Gio has never done and can never do. Are you telling me that Adebo, any of these people can bring out $100,000 a month to lobby to fight for you? I'm asking all the Christians in the zoo, God, Nigeria. Tell me the church that will bring out 100,000 every month to lobby and to fight for Christians. How many of you will do it? IPOB does it every month. Yet you're not grateful. Typical black people. Ungrateful people. A country of hypocrites. That was all your so-called NGOs, they were there, and IPOB was proscribed as a terrorist organization. Yes, all of you were there. Did you say anything? Did you do anything? No. When Mietiala is killing, Mietiala is everywhere, killing, raping, murdering people. They are not a terrorist group, but IPOB. Because light is in us and there is darkness in most of you. Darkness, most of you. And you're afraid of the truth. I will tell you the truth. Look at in Mali, reported by New York Times. Ordinary Mali in Bamako, in Mali, on Friday, people came out asking for the president to resign. They've had enough. But in the zoo, can you do it? I want to pose a very simple question to Christians in the zoo. Simple question. What do you think would happen if all of you were to come out tomorrow morning? All the daddy GOs in the zoo called Nigeria were to come out tomorrow morning and to say, enough is enough. Let everybody go on the streets and protest. The zoo will come to an end and your life will be better. But they will never do it. They will never ever do it. Do you know why? Because your daddy GO benefits from corruption. Because the reason why they get tight from you is because you are poor. Mentally poor. That is why they do that. Our problem is numerous of black people. Do you see Togo? I want to use Togo as an example. Do you see ordinary Togo? Togo Nkete, ordinary Togo here. Togo is a very fine example of the depth. I do promise Levinos that after today, of course, things will be different from Wednesday onwards. I will encourage our people, black people all over the world. I will encourage them. Let me do that thing that some of them say I should do. But for tonight, I must say the truth. Look at Togo. Do you know that Togo was once a German colony? Germany used to own Togo. They used to speak German as their lingua franca. And in 1945, after the war, they used Togo to compensate France. In 1945, they were handed over like a Kwanakwana, handed them over like a prostitute over to France. Their lingua franca is now French. Hey, black people, black, this UG, black. And I'm telling you, if the world decides tomorrow to hand them over to Sweden, they'll be Swedish. Only in Africa. And when you challenge them and say to them, the reason why they can hand you over like a parcel from what is because of the way you reason, they don't understand it. They think you hate them. They think you hate Christianity. I'm telling a black man, the way you reason is flawed. Togo is an example of the hopelessness of a black man. Before it was German. Now it is French. Are we okay at all? Oh, dear me. Unbelievable. And if we're not the same. I'm from South. I'm from East-West and South. Despite the fact that it has no meaning. Somebody, I was discussing with Jonas and he reminded me of something very important. Those who want to say, oh, I asked somebody, why do you want an Igbo nation alone? He said, where they speak Igbo only, so we can be Igbo people just one. And I asked him, let us count. He said, you see. I asked him to start. He said, nah. And then he reminded me of something. You see one, the figure one, in our counting, for Igbo Biafran, so the same one is called Nge. It is called Otu. It is called Na. It's called Ofu. The same one. So does it mean that all the people that call one Nge or Na, they are not the same people? They are different. One is from Benin. The other one is from Ado Ekiti. In Ibek, we say Nge. In Ongwa, they say Otu Na. So does it mean Ongwa people are from maybe they come from Jukun? Do you see how free some people are? That language is not the determining factor as to who you are. For us, if your mother ties two-piece wrapper, you're one of us. Because culturally we are affiliated. Or we have cultural affinity, as the case may be. We live in a space where, in the zoo, where historians deny us history. There was a time that my friend Femi Fanikayode wrote something about, I've been having sleepless nights. I've not told anyone. I've never even told him. He wrote something about Yoruba. Not their name not being Yoruba, but is Oduduwa. It's been on my mind. And I've been researching. You know, we read a lot. I've been researching. And I stumbled upon an old Biafran map. And it was very, very... I don't know, it was an eye-opener, to be honest with you. And I give it to them. I would say that some people know, since Fanaka knows. Maybe some other people will know. But I'm sure that most of the thieving pastors you have in Oduduwa land, they do not know this either. I even read some piece where some people attacked Fanaka because of it. Said, oh, you don't know what you know in the zoo, when you're educated in the zoo, you reason backwards. When somebody makes a very serious allegation or advances a hypothesis, your job is to go and investigate before you start allowing your emotions to run wild and crazy. Fanika said that Yoruba doesn't exist. Is an insult, it's an insultive word like Nyamri. And then the funniest thing, it is true. I looked at this African map, old map. Oh, I can see Biafra very clearly on the eastern flank. And very close to the north, the north of Kwara State, you have Yariba. This is the first time I'm seeing Yoruba on a map. But it's not called Yoruba, it's called Yariba. Yarriba. But Biafra was spelled correctly. Even Benin was spelled correctly with Benin, B-E-N-I-N. Zaria was spelled correctly. Kanu was spelled correctly. It's only Katsina they called Katsina. Maybe it's the Katsina is the anglicization. Maybe this is the correct one. Every name was correct. Dahomey was spelled correctly. If Abome was spelled correctly. Ivory Coast was correct. But Yoruba was spelled Yariba. And very close to the north. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that is the first time that I'm saying it. And I did a bit more research and I discovered that it is actually true. That the Europeans, according to this very man they called Johnson, the history of the Yorubas they wrote in 1897, that the Europeans, when they encountered Hausa people, they said, they described the Yorubas as Yariba people who are untrustworthy. And the Yorubas did not change the name. They retained it. We said no to ours. The same way we call them Aboki. You cannot see another person say, oh, I'm Aboki, or our area is now known as Aboki. No. They gave us Nyamri, we said no. Is that our name? We are Igbo, or we are Biafra. Call us anything you like, but not Nyamri. They called the Yorubas Yariba, untrustworthy, unreliable people, and the Yorubas accepted it. Do you know why they accepted it? Because of the disproportionate influence of Yoruba Muslim in the lives of Oduduwa people. I told you, anything comes from Sokoto Caliphate, Oduduwa Muslims will swallow it hook, line, and sinker. That's what happened. They lost their name. They're now answering the names of those who conquered them in Ilorin. And another thing is quite interesting, you know, it's quite astonishing, is the predominance of Bini Kingdom throughout this era. Predominance of Bini Kingdom. And the Yorubas were actually called, sorry, the Duduwas were called Yariba, and they accepted it. Just like Niger Delta, a place of darkness inside darkness. This one, Yariba, meaning dubious people, and they accepted it. And as I told you, your name will always follow you. And what is happening today? Anyway, that is a story for another day. But Yoruba has no meaning. It's Oduduwa, is your name. I have this map. Please, can you publish it so they can see it? The name is Yariba. It's a very, very uncomfortable name to bear, to be honest with you. Very sad indeed. Oduduwa children should rise up, and from today we refer to them as Oduduwa people, not Yoruba anymore, please, because Yoruba doesn't exist. It was a very terrible name given to them by Fulani people. Please, their name is Oduduwa. They are the sons and daughters of Oduduwa. They are not Yariba. Yariba is a derogatory name, please. It is here, and the map is here. Yariba. So Fani Kayode was right. Yarriba. It's here in the map. Please, can you publish it? That the world may know. It is free lesson that we give them here. We teach you history here for free. For free. The Janjaweeds are preparing to fight us. They are preparing to go to war. Our daughters are being cut into pieces and put everywhere. As usual, as you'd expect them to be. Biafrans in America are sleeping. In the next 2,000 years, when they have no home, they'll start looking for somebody to apologize to them. Now they have a chance to make a headway. They're not taking that opportunity. We must warn them. The defense of Biafra land will be done under one command. Not two, not three. All these stupid, the idiots, the criminals are advocating for separate village vigilante. That's how foolish they are. They saw that the Duduwa people, they had a Motekun under one command. The Fulani terrorists have one command, Mietiana, one command. But do you see, they claim they went to school. They claim they're educated. When it comes to us, they want every village to have, if you have 2 double barrels, if you have a 1 gun gun, organize yourself, village by village, vigilante. This is how they did. They claim they went to school. That is not what we want. Even the vigilante in the villages, they're all IPOB anyway. Everybody's IPOB, for information. And we are under one central indisputable command, which I lead. One command the whole world over. One command. All that your useless, autonomous rubbish doesn't apply. After we defeat our enemies, we can now go to our tents, O Israel. But for now, under one command. That is how you defeat the enemy. Do you understand it? All of you idiots in Abuja running around with your big red, black, and blue, looking for somebody to write petition for, so you can get money. Go back to your useless unemployment and leave the matters of state to those who know it. Statecraft is not meant for gossipers and idle minds. We are on to something very big. Only one command, please. All these people advocating, going through town unions, and are they not the same town unions that gave our land to Mietiala? Not the same people? The same president general and the same traditional ruler? The same people. For your information, please. We have gone past that era of nonsense. We have decided to move on, and that moving on entails us doing that which is right before God and heaven and man on this very earth. We have come very close to the end of our proceedings today. And for those of you petitioning me and saying that I should be nice to black people, from Wednesday I will be. And let me see if you have changed sufficiently. If you have not changed, I will return to this style of broadcast, if you don't know. But from Wednesday, I'll give you a chance. I will praise you, and I will expect you to do that worthy of somebody who is under praise, so to speak. But wherever you are, whatever thing you're worshiping is entirely up to you. Biafra will be a secular state, but the foundation that you don't see will be anchored on the 10 commandments of the Most High. Biafra is a godly nation. Biafra is our religion. When they ask you, what is your religion, you tell them Biafra. Biafra is our religion. Here on radio, Biafra is where we worship. And we worship the only one true living God. The God of Eri. The God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob. The same God that David worshipped. The same God that Jesus Christ worshipped. And might I also add, the same God that even Prophet Muhammad called Allah. Indivisible. One God. And under whose command and grace we do all that we do. Let me repeat. Biafra is our religion. Here on radio, Biafra is where we worship. Because Chukwu Kika Biama Prumi Henine Adonai. El Shaddai, Elohim, is our God. From me, from here, It is good evening.